Well, hello world. I've gone completely crazy in 2021 and redone my entire pressure washing setup. To start with, we have an absolutely fantastic 2021 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive to pull this. A 16 by 12 enclosed cargo trailer, fully lettered on all sides. I've got safety lights on it for dark parking lots to keep traffic away from me. And I went from one of the smallest rigs on the road to now a true professional setup. Let's go inside and take a look at the new toys. All right. In my usual world of overdoing it, I'll back up so we get a look at the whole stern here. I stacked my hose reels on the left. Soft wash is on the bottom, 230 feet, half-inch Flexzilla. I've got 200 feet pressure washing hose there, stacked. I built a little table just for whatever on top. Also mounts to the wall to help make it super secure. My soap injector lives right here in this coupling where it's easy to get to, so I can take it in, take it out. It's sitting right in the bucket right now. I've got my 100-gallon water buffer tank that's plumbed. I put 2 Hudson valves in it. The first valve fills it up to 50 gallons and then stops. So like if you're doing a residential house, you really don't need to drag around 100 gallons of water. It's very heavy. So I can fill it up to 50. That's plenty to work on a house. And when I'm done, I'm only dumping 50 gallons instead of standing there forever letting 100 gallons come out of it. If I'm doing a bigger job, the forward intake is a Hudson valve mounted all the way at the top, and that'll put about 95 gallons in the tank. I've got my 35-gallon SH tank vented outside. That's an important feature. The fumes from SH are very corrosive, and you'll find stuff in your trailer rusting like crazy if you don't vent those things outside. So I just vented the cap and ran it out through the floor of the trailer. I put my water tank and my SH tank up on a, for lack of a better word, a pallet, if you will. I just built a wood structure out of 2x4s that goes all the way wall to wall, and it's completely under these tanks so that it spreads the load of the tanks not only directly to the frame rails out on the side of the trailer, it also covers 2 floor joists underneath it, so it spans 2 of them, again, to just help spread the load. I'm kind of crazy about that. Soft wash battery. I did my soft wash system up on the wall here. I've got same manifold I had in the small truck. I think that's pretty much unchanged. I added a pump, so I've now got 2 pumps. I had my friends at Virginia Pressure Washing build this little input and output manifold for me, and it allows me to, I have pump number 1 is on these 2 in and out. Pump number 2 is on these 2. If I have a failure with a pump, I can change in 25 seconds. I can pull these off and stick them right up here and turn on the second pump and go. So if I have any issues with a pump, not a problem. I mean, it's just painless to do. Or, as I did today, I loaded 15 gallons of SH out of a barrel. I've got another set of hoses that I've just got an intake pickup on the hose. I clip it right here. And then I put the output right here, and I just run it around and drop it in the top of the SH tank. And so I can fill my SH tank from a barrel that I roll out of the garage or anything I want, absolutely painlessly. This is kind of fun. I just did 2 little crazy switches up here to power them. Put some lights in them. Just something goofy, but get a reasonable. That's just an extra pickup in case I want to pull something else through the manifold. It just gives me an option. You could use it as a transfer if you wanted to, but I just use the pump directly. of course, GF valve with a backflow. Another GF with a backflow. I put a three-way so that I can pull fresh water from the tank to flush out the valve and the check valve when I'm done with the SH, and the SH comes in here, and it's kind of hard to see in here, but it's just a little lever. That's SH, that's fresh water, so it makes flushing out my stuff a little easier, just to know that that $100 valve is staying clean. This is a soap intake. Doesn't have to be too precise, you know, soap is soap, you mix it how you want it, and it goes out of that bucket right there. Water hose, I'm thinking about changing this to a standard general pump reel and using this reel up here as a spare hose reel. Just a thought. This is something fun. I've got my surface cleaner mounted up on the ceiling, so it is completely out of the way and off the floor, and you're not tripping over it. And you just undo that orange little string, has a catch on it. You just undo that little catch right there, the handle drops down, and I pull it out standing right here on the ground behind the trailer, so I don't have to go in the trailer and get it. I don't have to go in the trailer to put away, and it stays off of my floors. This is kind of fun. I decided to stack my machines, and I also moved up to a belt drive, 4,000 PSI, 4 gallon a minute belt drive with my Predator engine from the other truck. I had a custom exhaust done, again, by my friends at Virginia Pressure Washing. They handmade this little adapter here for me, and then ran some flexible tube, and they handmade this gorgeous piece of stainless steel, which goes out through the floor of the trailer, and a little exhaust pipe sticks out on the passenger side. If you don't mind the monkey cam here, I will go take a peek at it. Here is stainless steel exhaust system and we're getting a cat scan. You get in every video, dude. But, Sylvester the crazy cat. But a beautiful piece of polished stainless steel, goes all the way back up through the floor, and they even did a real pretty little angle cut on it to make it tidy. Equipment sounds great, very quiet. I did a rubber floor. The whole floor is one piece of rubber, 7 by 14, that wraps up on the sides. So it's basically 100% waterproof, chemical proof. Again, another reason for the pallet is it also allows me to run all my pipes under it. So I don't have to step on them if I'm going up here. I got a clear place to step, and it protects them. You can also put long pipes under there. Some extension poles and stuff. They go all the way up to the front. Let's see. Other goofy ideas. I had a lot of time this winter. We've got my gun racks over here for all my wands. They're up on the ceiling, out of the way, and they're not bugging you, which is always nice. I've got a spare 12-gallon barrel, 12 or 15, I forget. It might be 15. It's empty, just in case I need it for anything. It sits right there. I've been doing some commercial restaurants, doing the flat surface and the dumpster areas. And these restaurants open at 11 a.m., but they're open till 10:30 at night. So the only time I can really work on them is at the crack of dawn, literally. And sometimes it gets a little dusk and it's hard to see what you're doing. So I've got 10,000 lumens of light there, and another 5,000 lumens of light there that all pop onto little tripods. And I've got a little portable generator, so I just pop the generator out and crank those up. Back to the fun stuff. Here's my equipment stack. I decided to do my machines vertically because I wanted all of the cylinder heat to go out the back of the trailer unimpeded, and I wanted fresh air to come in the door to feed them. So this way they've both got plenty of fresh air coming in the front door. They both blow straight out the back of the trailer, so there's no heat, latent heat in here, and of course we've got the exhaust going out through the floor. So it just makes a real tidy installation, and of course, you know, got a little bit of plumbing, but nothing unusual. Got your bypass going over to my big buffer tank, 1-inch intake lines, and tried to do them as sanitary as I could. But This is a 5.5 gallon, 3,800 psi machine. Bought it used, again from Virginia Pressure Wash Service, and they went over it real good for me and tuned it up and made it run like a kitten. And it just purrs. New belts, everything, new fluids, new oils, new everything. So that's kind of fun. And it pulls off of a 6-gallon marine tank that I pull out to the door to fill up. That's why the hose is out there, so I can just slide it around the floor. I'm going to build a little bench across here so I can sit down to put my rain gear on and corral the gas cans in so they don't roll around anywhere. Of course, this is my little freshwater manifold. My water supply comes in the yellow hose, and it goes over to a big filter. So every bit of the water, all the water on this truck is filtered, help keep the crud out of the machines. And then it comes over to this little manifold, and it comes in the top. And then I just chose to set it up so if I turn this valve on, it fills my tank halfway, which is where I leave it almost all the time. I just leave that one in the on position when I'm working like that. This one is the forward Hudson valve, and that's set for the full tank. This is just an empty one, spare. This little guy is just in case you need a little bit of water. I got a little hose there, so if you need to put some in a bucket or whatever, if you spilled something in here, you could rinse off something with it. It's just a little short hose. Of course, extra hoses. Can't have too many hoses. More extra hoses. More extra hoses. Ladder. Of course, put up some junk bins. Got my chemicals basically down on the bottom. The bottom hoppers are most of the bulk chemicals. My window washing gear, again, some of the restaurants I do, they've got glass down to the ground, and I don't like to just rinse it off and run because you never know how spotty it's going to get. So it's not hard to clean a window, and I tell them I'm not a professional window cleaner, but I'll clean all the lower windows before I go. And so you just put a little soap on it, squeegee it off, and you leave the customer with a shiny set of windows. That's just a bunch of towels, extra hand towels. This is miscellaneous brushes and doohickeys and doodads and safety vest. Top is mostly tools and fittings and little bottles of stuff. But that's the new rig. And of course I've got AC lighting in here. And I also have, because we work a lot in the dusk and the evenings, I've got onboard battery chargers. So all I got to do is plug my cord in the outside of the trailer, and my battery charger kicks in and keeps the soft wash battery all topped up for me every night. Then of course, if it gets dark, I put lights on the inside, and they don't look too bright in the daytime. Still reasonably bright outside. But you click all these guys on in the dark, and it really lights the world up. They're just little cheap Amazon strung together work truck lights. They're 15, 20 bucks, no big deal. But I've cut the strings apart and I just put a little group here and there on every thing. But I put a bunch across the back. And like I said, they don't appear to be too bright in the daytime, but they put out plenty of light on an evening when you're rolling the hoses up. So sorry for the monkey cam bouncing around, but this is my new rig, and my stacked machines work really well. It saves a lot of floor space, and I'm just a little crazy about exhaust heat. I have a friend who has two big V-twins, and he has blown the camshaft gears out of them twice now because he's got them sitting on the floor where they just can't quite ventilate very well. And Honda says if they get overheated, they will blow the camshaft gears, and sure enough, he has. So I just really wanted to address every way I could to keep these machines cool and keep the inside of the trailer with no exhaust in it. It gives me good access to them. You know, I can change the oil on them a little easier, especially this guy sitting up here. He's great to fiddle around with because it's up at waist level, so it's real easy to get to the belts and real easy to get to everything, pump, whatever you want to fool with. Oh, this is something fun. I combined both bypass lines. I initially ran a bypass line individually to the tank, to these two fittings. And a friend of mine said, you know, you can do that all with one. And so I said, cool. And so I changed them over to one. So I only have one bypass line coming back to the tank. So just one less piece of hose floating around in here. Here's that water filter. Easy to change, easy to keep clean, put it right and get to it. But that's the new toy. And the rack. I just hand built it out of some PVC trim boards, so it's rust proof. It doesn't have to be very strong, and it just slides right up in there. And boy, it just keeps it out of the way nice. And when I want it, I grab it. And when I don't want it, it is not under my feet, because those things, they're elephants. They take up a lot of space. And if I get another one, I got room to put a second one over here, because I might do a 20 or 24. I haven't decided. So I'll put it right up here. And that'll be that. But this is the new toy box. And, oh, and I didn't explain. The bottom set of these connections, they don't go in. They're just spares that I put on there just in case I came up with some other crazy little idea. But there's really nothing to it. They're just these quick connects. And I had 6 of them put on a plate. And then I put 1/2-inch hose barbs on the back of them, and it looks to be a bit of a mess, but it's pretty straightforward. It's inlet for the pump number 1, inlet for pump number 2, outlet for pump number 1, outlet for pump number 2, and I've got, as you can see, this hose comes from the mix valve, and I put a little label on it. You know, mix valve this way. This is the input, and this one goes to the hose reel. And it goes that way. So, I mean, you can't really mess it up. That just wraps around and it comes over here and pops into the back of the hose. So this setup, I've done a couple of homes with it, and this setup is just really clean and nice. And boy, it's something to have a lot of room. After working out of my Dakota and being super small, it is really pleasant to work out of a big full-size vehicle. So there you go. This is what 2021 is going to do for me, and we hope for the best year possible. Of course, we're getting cat scanned again. Can't get away from him. But this is our new rig. We got the trailer all lettered up real good. We got the back window of the truck lettered up, so we put a professional view when we show up. It's all similar and labeled the same as all our paperwork. Well, there we go. Thanks a bunch. Have a good day.